What's up everyone, it's Wacka, welcome you to a new video. This time we are predicting the Pokemon Legends ZA revealed megas, at least so far, made by me. I've just put together like a little slideshow. We ended up getting quite a lot of news these last few weeks, and I felt like um, probably in October I'll end up doing like a full overview once we have like the stats. Um, Still gonna have to predict abilities by the time Champions comes up, but we end up getting a little bit more news than I expected today. So I think now is like a good time to kind of go through what I think we have and what we know, um, and go based on what the website describes, or how the website describes the Pokemon, um, so on and so forth, or like what we've seen from footage. So yeah, the first one that we got revealed was Mega Dragonite. Dragonite on its own already has like a lot of tools. It is probably one of the better pseudo legendaries on its own. Um, I mean, it's probably not as good as like Garchomp or um, which other megas do we have? We have Mega Tyranitar, Salamence, Metagross, Garchomp. I would say Dragonite's probably the best of the best of the megas, like the mega pseudo legendaries, other than like maybe Garchomp, but Mega Garchomp got worse overall. So um, yeah, so it was interesting because the website actually describes it as getting faster. However, like to me, it doesn't really look that fast. It actually looks a lot bulkier and actually looks more like a special attacker, if anything. So, the direction I predict it going is it gets a little bit faster. 95 speed doesn't allow it to be like super broken. I'm sure it's going to be broken regardless. It's a pseudo legendary mega, and if it gets any faster with like the tools it has, or even like a good ability, it'll be pretty broken. Considering it has all that coverage with as like Dragon Claw, do Wing Beat, Fly, Hurricane, Air Slash, Dragon Pulse. On the coverage side, we have like Earthquake, Extreme Speed, Fire Punch, Stone Edge, Low Kick. On the special side, we have like Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Surf. Has a bunch of status moves such as Encore, Defog, Roost, Heal Bell, Barrier, Dragon Dance, Haze, Dual Screens, Tailwind, Thunderwave, and Toxic. Um, so I think overall, like it has all the tools it needs. If its stats get any better, it's just going to be a better Mon. Um, Although not being able to hold boots and letting go of like potentially multi-scale is not going to be like great for it, but I think having better stats is just good for it. So I predict its attack will still go up like 10 points. Defense, I think its defense looks a lot better. Like its tail is like super fat. Um, so I predict its defense and SpDef will even out to like both 120. Special attack I think is going to increase to catch up somewhat with its attack stat. It's going to probably end up being like 130 and its speed I think 95. Based on the description we've seen from it, it's described as being very friendly but also fast, and it shows kindness by ending battles fast. Um, to me, that doesn't really scream like anything like super cool. So I predicted maybe healer because Pokemon seems to be a little bit more like VGC focused. Um, these last few generations, and like um, maybe they want Dragonite to be like a healer esque like archetype, but also do a bunch of damage, like a damage support in a certain aspect. So healer would kind of suck for singles, but I think if it's gonna be like allowable at all, like this is probably like the most that you could do for Dragonite without it being like super broken. I'm sure it's still gonna be super broken regardless. Um, but we'll see. We will see. And speaking of not very broken, we have Mega Victory Bell. I was a little bit disappointed with this. I love the design, first of all. I think it's really weird. It's like kind of cute and like stupid derpy. I'm not mad about it at all. In the trailer, they made it look like it had like enhanced poison. Yeah, like enhanced poison. Um, so I was thinking, based on that, like its ability could be corrosion, but it was also described as smelling very sweet. So it could be like super sweet syrup or like something esque super sweet syrup. Super sweet syrup wouldn't be bad because it would allow Mega Victory Bell to be a good support mon with like sleep powder. Having like more accurate sleep powders, I believe that is. Um, it also gets moves like Encore, Morning Sun, Reflect, Strength Sap, Toxic, Swords Dance, Sunny Day. So it can do kind of a lot in terms of setup. Its base ability is Gluttony, as well as Chlorophyll, but looking at this, like, I don't see anything that really screams like Sun. Like, they didn't really highlight too much, like, the grass type aspect of this guy, so I don't really think it's gonna have Chlorophyll still, and if it does, base 50 speed is kind of slow, but I think it's usable. Um, in terms of attack, again, like kind of like Dragonite, I think it's gonna end up being a lot bulkier, and it's gonna lean more on like the special side. So I think its attack is still gonna increase by like 10. Although like it looks very nubby. Like I don't know how it's supposed to use a Leaf Blade when its arms like it can't even like slap its own belly with its little leaf arms. So I don't really know how it's gonna hit super hard. I guess it will just have to like slam things with its body, or it's gonna use Leaf Blade using like the hat thing it has with the autumn colored leaves. I don't know. Defense, I think it's definitely gonna be a lot bulkier, like 100 defense, special attack, probably like 125. I think its poison powers are like very. Um, they've kind of covered that its poison is more prominent, and it seems to be spewing sludge like everywhere. It could have like a poison puppeteer esque ability, or like a poison touch ability, or poison point, something like that. Like if you poke it, it might spew poison at you or something. Um, that could be interesting too. But Legend ZA, like I guess disclaimer, I know that abilities aren't gonna be in ZA, but this is more for like champions. Um, and like competitive. So yeah, and then I had enough points to put in special defense, making that like 120 as well. Because I lowered its speed by so much. So yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's like overall just a worse Mega Venusaur. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't end up being a worse Mega Venusaur because like coverage wise, it's like the same as Venusaur as well. I guess Venusaur doesn't get like Power Whip or like a Leaf Blade, but I think Victory Bell will be more of a special attacker, and I think Venusaur gets most of those moves on the special side, including Weather Ball. So it's not like great. And Venusaur gets like Earth Power. Victory Bell's only special coverage move that I saw was Weather Ball. But Victory Bell does get Encore, so maybe it'll be something. I think it's just gonna be a worse Venusaur, but I mean, not all these megas can be like better than all the old megas because like we can't just like overshadow them, I guess. So we do have to have some that are worse, in my opinion. Mega Hawlucha got revealed next. Um, in the trailer, they kind of described it as like a very tanky. The website kind of includes that it's like very its defenses are like very much enhanced. Is this off? I feel like maybe it's because the text might be a little bit smaller. I don't know. Um, anyway, yeah, its defenses are like definitely increased quite a bit. A lot of people are thinking it might get stamina. Um, I think it could get stamina. It could also get inner focus because when Machamp like hit it, Hawlucha like it didn't recoil at all, or like it didn't shown that it wasn't shown that it was like hurt or anything. So I thought maybe inner focus. Not that Machamp used like a flinching move in particular, but I think inner focus could make sense, and it seems like it's not very scared of things, and I believe inner focus also makes you immune to intimidate, so that would be good in VGC. Um, For its stats, I think it's going to increase in attack quite a bit, like 35. Its attack set's already low, but it's going to lose Unburden. So like they really have to make it stronger somewhere else because while its speed is pretty good, like it's not bulky enough to really get off like a Swords Dance or a bulk up without like Seed. Um, so I think they have to make it bulkier. They usually waste some points in special attack, so I added like 5 in special attack, 30 in defense because they definitely um, they definitely said its defenses are a lot better, and I think that kind of translates to having better special defense as well. Not too much better, but I think 83 is like a fair place to stop it, and that left me with enough points to actually make it speed 128. And I like 128 because that speed ties Zacian, or not Zacian, it speed ties Zamazenta Crowned, um, which I think was being used quite a bit in VGC. So I think it's possible Halucha might speed tie it. It could technically be a little bit faster if they actually want to make it like beat Zamazenta, but if it has like stamina, I could see it standing up to Zamazenta pretty well, and I think maybe that's the direction they want to go with it. Like they want to make these things like usable in like a VGC setting, I think. Maybe not all of them, but I think to some extent they're gonna want to like make them usable at some point. So yeah, that's Mega Halucha. Funnily enough, it has like no special moves. Like Focus Blast, Grass Knot, that's its only special coverage. It doesn't, from what I saw, I don't think it gets Hurricane. I could be wrong, but when I quickly went through all the mons, I didn't see like any other special moves on it. But on the physical side, it has like a lot in terms of like Brave Bird, Dual Wing Beat, Close Combat, Low Kick, Drain Punch. Coverage wise, it gets like Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Throat Chop. Status moves, it gets Agility, Bulk Up, Roost, Swords Dance, Encore, Taunt, Toxic, Tailwind. So if it's like a decent like Tailwind supporter that's offensive, that would be awesome. Next up, we have Mega Malamar. This guy was revealed like 2 days ago, which I think is weird because I feel like if they wanted to like keep the hype around it lasting, then they probably should have just revealed it last week, or maybe hinted. I don't know. The reveal cycle's just been weird, but yeah, Malamar is a very interesting case. It's a Psychic Dark type. It has decent moves. In terms of stabs, I would say its dark stabs are at least okay. It has knockoff, throat chop for like weird like sound based like matchups. Zen headbutts okay. Psycho cut's kind of bad. Follow play is kind of meh. In terms of coverage, it gets super power, which is nice for like contrary sets to boost its attack and its defense. It also gets liquidation, which I didn't know it got. It also gets rock slide, lunge, trailblaze. I guess technically if you're contrary, then Trailblaze would be lowering your speed, but maybe to an extent that could be a good thing if you're like using this on Trick Room. In terms of special moves, we get Psychic, Psyshock, Future Sight, Psychic Noise, Expanding Force, Dark Pulse. Coverage-wise, it gets Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam. Status moves, it gets Topsy-Turvy, which I think is always a cool option that it has. Calm Mind, Destiny Bond, Nasty Plot, Dual Screens, Toxic Taunt, and Trick Room. It also gets both Trick and Switcheroo, but if you're holding a Mega Stone, then you can't Switcheroo trick those anyways. The website kind of describes it as having like very much increased psychic powers and like having mind control. So I thought maybe it could have like a psychic version of Transistor. Or it could have like like I said confusion version of Poison Puppeteer, but although Poison Puppeteer already has that confusion aspect, but it's more like it might just have like a confusion on like all of its moves. So like it could click Psychic and then have like a chance to confuse you. I think that could be interesting. I think Moxie Boosted said it could have competitive, and I think competitive wouldn't be awful, especially in VGC. Especially when like Incineroar is being spammed everywhere. The problem with Malamar is like Incineroar sometimes runs the U-turn. so it's gonna die. And it doesn't have a move that really hits Incineroar other than like Rock Slide, but if it's not a special or if it's not a physical attacker, then it's just not really touching Incineroar. So, and you wouldn't be able to Terrasilize Terra Blast is, so like I don't really know what Malamar is supposed to be doing with competitive in VGC. I guess you could protect it and pair it with something that hates that likes to see Incineroar. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. Its stats are also kind of fucked. Like I tried, it looks like it's a special attacker, so I actually took some from its normal tech stat. Not too much because like it, those like weird scythe looking arms or like the hypnotism arms still look like they could do damage. So I didn't want to lower its attack too much, but I kind of just put it in defense. And other than that, I put everything in special attack. I gave it 50 in special attack to make it 118. Special defense about 95, so it can like kind of tank on the special side a little bit more. And I think speed wise, 103 makes sense to me. I think 103 would make it outspeed stuff like Garchomp. That's kind of all I have. Like, I don't think this guy's gonna be very good. I guess it also outspeeds like the Urshifus, so that's nice. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think Malamar is gonna be very good, unless they like really make these better stats. Um, you can't just like buff everything slightly because it would still suck. Um, so that kind of sucks for Malamar. I don't really see it being any good. But yeah. Moving on, we got Mega Chestnut. Now, I woke up this morning, or like probably more like this afternoon. I think I woke up at like maybe like noon. Um, I completely forgot about the direct, and even then, I wasn't expecting ZA to be part of the direct at all. And I'd say I was kind of disappointed with the direct, but I think ZA was like the saving grace of this direct. We got 5 new megas. So obviously, if we got Chestnut, we were gonna see Delphox, Greninja in this video, and we also got to see Raichu. Um, so yeah, love that we have some new megas here. A bunch of them, and I think this might be it for like the hype cycle of Legends ZA. Like we might not really get any more news for the next month. I was kind of hoping we get like a mega every week, but I don't think they are, and I think they said that they're done doing trailers for now. So yeah, so Mega Chestnut. People were pinging me in SDS. Um, like literally, Heister, I think, added me and just put like the eyes emoji. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I scrolled down, I was like, oh, there's Mega Chestnut. And that made me want to do the video. So basically, I got up and I was like, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna watch the direct, at least what I cared about, and then make this video. So yeah, Chestnut has really good moves. Um, I feel like it has everything it needs. It has Wood Hammer, Seed Bomb, Close Combat, Drain Punch, Body Press, Trailblaze. So like it has everything that I would ever want to use on the physical side. Maybe you would want Power Whip. If you want to use like a strong grass move that isn't like recoil based. Um, on the coverage side, we have like Earthquake, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Dragon Claw, Knockoff, Iron Head, and Poison Jab. So you have like that fairy coverage, you have that flying and that fire coverage. So like again, Chestnut has everything it needs basically. Special moves, it gets like Energy Ball, Giga Drain, Focus Blast, Grass Knot. Coverage wise, it gets like Sludge Bomb, Mud Shot. I don't think like Chestnut's not a special attacker, so it doesn't really matter. In terms of status moves, you get stuff like Leech Seed, Synthesis, Spikes, Iron Defense, Bulk Up, Pain Split, which is interesting, Roar, Spiky Shield, which is its signature move, or like it was its signature move, and then it also gets like Taunt, Toxic, and Belly Drum. Based on its description and like what I've seen from like artwork and like in-game footage, it was described using its shields as a weapon, and that instantly made me think something Rockhead-esque. Well, now, Rockhead doesn't really make sense entirely because it's not using itself to attack, but if it's using its shields and not like its body, then technically I think something Rockhead S could work, and that would make it would make using Woodhammer like really nice. I guess they could also give it Reckless or something, but I think if it's using its shields to attack, then it doesn't really make sense for it to be taking damage when it's using Woodhammer. So I thought Rockhead-esque, but they also described it as being extra tanky and having tougher armor and fur to take. I think it literally said like it takes blasts of damage like very well. So I was thinking like it could just keep bulletproof. But if the other starters change abilities, like I think Greninja has to change abilities or like get something different. I think Delphox is going to be different. Like I think Bulletproof would be kind of a lame option on Chestnut, although it's probably the best option. And also Steadfast, because the website literally mentioned it had a Steadfast Spirit. Um, so yeah, in terms of stats, obviously HP is going to stay the same. I think attack is going to go to like 130, and its defense will probably end up being like something in like the 150 range, which I think would be nice. So like 155. Special attack, they kind of tend to waste points in like special attack anyways. So I thought maybe 85 would be fine. I wouldn't be super mad if they made Chestnut like a little bit better on the special side, because like sometimes having special coverage and not hitting things physically is like always fine, or like if it wants to use Sludge Bomb and not Poison Jab or like Mud Shot. I don't know. Doesn't really have any reason to use special attacks, but I think its special attack will probably be a little bit better. Special defense, I increased it by about 23 because I increased attack and defense by like an increment of 3 plus like 30 or 20. And I increased special attack by an increment of 1, so I had like an extra 3 left over, so I put it all in like special defense, as well as that plus 20, and I think speed. It might not change speed, it might even end up being slower, and if it is slower, that would probably be like okay for it, but I think if it's a little bit faster, like that 74, that hits like what, like Iron Thorns level speed. So I think that could be good on like Trailblaze sets. It might be able to get off like a belly drum with its bulk. So yeah, I think we'll see. I think Chestnut it'll overall be better, but I guess it really depends on like what ability it gets or like what direction it wants to go in with the stats. Like obviously it's gonna be tankier, but I don't know how strong it'll be. Mega Delphox. This is definitely like Blunder's favorite from what I've seen. And sorry if the text is hard to read, but I guess I'll be reading all those anyways. So Delphox, they kind of show it like flying in the air on like the broom. I think that's super cool. I love the colors on it. I'll talk about the designs too in like when I'm done with these last four, and what I think of them. But I love Delphox's design. I think the beard is a little bit weird, but I guess they're kind of making it look less like feminine, which I'm like, I guess for a mostly like boys game, I guess I'm okay with it. Like, I guess it says like feminine features, but having a beard is like weird. But like I don't know, it's an animal, and like female animals can have beards, like goats. So I don't know. I don't really care. In terms of like physical coverage, it has Flame Charge, Blitz, Zen Headbutt. Coverage moves, it gets like Foul Play, Thunder Punch, Power Punch, Low Kick. It doesn't really have much on the physical side. It's more like on the special side where you're going to see a lot more moves, such as like Fire Blast, Mystical Fire, Flamethrower, Psychic, Psyshock, Psychic Noise, Future Sight, Rast Knot, Scorching Sands, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Dazzling Gleam, and Focus Blast. Even gets some decent status moves. It gets a bunch of setup, including Agility, Calm Mind, Plot, Encore. I think if you use this thing like Iron Valiant, something like Plot Encore could be a good set. It gets dual screens, it gets Wisp, Wish, Copycat. The website kind of described it as like, it has like those extra sticks and it uses them to attack. And I noticed that the sticks have fire on them as well. Probably so it looks a little less like stupid. Or like it to avoid from it looking stupid, I guess. Um, but it made me think of like Flame Burst. So I guess if you guys haven't seen like what Flame Burst does, because I think it might be a cut move. Um, you basically attack your opponent, and then if you're in a double battle, it also kind of like does damage to everything off to the side. So I think Flame Burst could make sense as an ability. Uh, or like it could have like an effect, whereas like it can attack something and then the sticks attack something to the side, or like something like Dragon Darts can do that too. But I think it also makes sense for it to get no guard because it was described um, being calm in battle, and kind of like forcing its opponents to move, or think more, and especially that its move. I'm pretty sure it said like its moves like don't miss, um, and it's described as like confusing its opponents. So I think that's very cool. It could be like pretty no guard esque. Um, but I think what everyone wants to see is either levitate or magic guard. Magic guard, like I think we all know what Delphox does in what is it? Is it Radical Red where it has like Magic Guard fucking mind blown? Yeah, that's like very stupid. But I mean, if it's gonna be as close to that as they do with Mega Delphox, um, Magic Guard would be, I guess, fine. Um, it could just come in on Stealth Rock and spikes, T spikes. It can eat a toxic, so it doesn't really care. It actually probably preferred being poisoned rather than like paralyzed, for example. So I think that would be interesting. In terms of stats, I think Delphox also has very good stats. Um, I think it's gonna be faster. I think 129 speed again. It outspeeds like that Zamazenta crowned. So if they actually want it to beat Zamazenta, it's gonna outspeed it. But it also doesn't outspeed like Jolteon or Crobat or um, I think notably I guess like Tapu Koko wouldn't outspeed with 129. So it could be faster, like 134 speed could make sense as well, or like 139, or like faster than 135 at that point. But I think 129 is like a decent spot for it. So that way you can increase its special attack and make that like 149, because it's just overall like stronger. Special defense is already decent, so I think they're gonna increase its special defense by like a little bit, by like 15. Defense will probably increase by about 15, making it like 87. And as a tech stat, even though like it's kind of a waste in stats, and they could put the extra 10 in defense, they'll probably end up adding like an extra 10 in attack because Game Freak. Um, so yeah, that's my opinion on Delphox. My take with it. Decent Mon. Like I'm pretty excited to see this thing. I hope it gets a good ability. They do. I will say they do have to change its ability because Magician will do absolutely nothing for it. It already does nothing for Delphox, but if you're holding an item that can't be knocked or removed, then it cannot have Magician or Pickpocket. Next up, we have Mega Greninja. This thing literally looks exactly like how it was leaked. Having like the blackish part there and like being upside down on the star. I think having like the blue starish head, or like it's the same color as the water shuriken there. I think it looks pretty cool. I was never like the biggest Greninja fan. I think Greninja, like I can see why people think it's cool. It's just like I don't know. I think it's cool, but I would prefer like underrated Pokemon more than this thing. But um, anyways, its stats are. I don't think its stats are great, but it has good abilities in base form, and its stats are like good enough where like it can do a lot in terms of like being physical or special, and it has a lot of coverage on both sides actually. So in terms of physical moves, it gets Liquidation and Night Slash on the stabs. It also gets U-turn, gunk shot, low kick, brick break, ice punch, and shadow sneak. Special moves, it gets surf, hydro pump, scald, dark pulse water, shuriken. Um, Coverage moves, it gets grass knot, ice beam, and sludge wave. Status moves, you get both types of spikes, taunt, toxic, swords dance, and haze. Um, in the trailer, they kind of described it as like it has the confidence that it will always win, and it has like this water shuriken that it flies around on. It can detect attacks and strike first, according to not the trailer but the website. Um, and it can force its opponent to attack. So I was thinking it could get no guard if it has like that confidence that it always wins and that it'll strike the opponent. No guard could make sense, but also like it seems like it avoids attacks. And I don't want to say it's gonna get like a bright powder esque ability because that's just kind of stupid. But I think it could get like anticipation or sucker punch as like an ability. So like if it's seeing like a thunderbolt coming from like Raichu, then maybe it's any of its moves will just hit first. But maybe it's only for like super effective moves. That could be interesting. Um, and because it's not a move and it's an ability, like it wouldn't be like I don't know, like you wouldn't have to like super like prep on it. Um, so that I don't know, that could be interesting. I also kind of saw Victory Star because I think shurikens are supposed to be like star shaped technically. And it thinks it's always gonna win. So I think Victory Star makes sense on Greninja. I don't know. If you guys feel like you've cooked a little bit better at these things, let me know in the comments. In terms of stats, I think its attack is probably gonna go up like 20. Defense probably not too much higher. Um, Especially because I think it wants its opponents to see it. So I think its defense and special defense go by like 8. Um, 8 each. Special attack I think can go up like 35 because I think they're gonna want to make it lean into like the special attacker. In terms of speed, 151 seems kind of weird, but then you kind of realize that it outspeeds Calyrex Shadow Rider, and I think if you're gonna use Mega Greninja in VGC, it's gonna have to outspeed Shadow Rider, and like it's Greninja, of course it's gonna be broken, or is about as broken as they can make it. Like they could keep this as 95 and they could make this 158. They could do that. I mean, Mega Alakazam is technically stronger in that sense, so they could do that. Anyways, they also revealed 2 forms of Mega Raichu. And I guess I can kind of quickly go through them because Raichu is the same Pokemon as Raichu. So comparing them is a little bit the same. Um, they didn't give us like trailer footage of these guys, but they did give us descriptions on the website based on like what they could do. So that being said, I felt like kind of going like this Mega Mewtwo route with it. So the website describes it as being very tanky, or like having increased defense. It can fly through the airs with the airs. It can fly through the air with its tails. Um, and again, its defensive capabilities increase as well as higher electrical output. So I think its attack stat will actually go up quite a bit. 130 attack would be very cool. If they want to make it actually look defensive, I think 115 defense would be great. So yeah, that's using a lot of points, but I actually decreased its special attack by about 30. Because if they want to make it bulkier and like stronger with electrical output, I think this is going to be like the Volt Tackler guy. So they're going to lower its special attack, I would think. Special defense will probably go up like a little bit, but to like 100. I guess I could argue that the special defense could be higher, but I don't know. It does. I don't know. I guess it doesn't look physically tanky, but I could see a world where they can make the excuse that it's physically tanky. Um, but it'll definitely be bulkier on the special side too if they go that tank route with it. I think speed. I thought about keeping it at 110, but I think like that was kind of a mistake with the Latias twins. I think. Um, so I think its speed will go up to like 120, and I thought that would be kind of cool. Like I guess you could compare it to like Arceus at that point with 120 speed. So like I guess they could do that. In terms of abilities, again, they said it flies through the air on its tail. Um, so I thought about like Magnet Rise as an ability, and then I realized, oh, Levitate, duh. But I also think Electromorphosis could be an ability it has because it has higher electrical output. Um, and I think, and I guess like I could be stupid, and I could be a little bit too hopeful, but I think Mega Feraligatr that's in the leaks could have Dragon's Maw. Oh wait, no, Electromorphosis is that's Bellybolt's ability. I think I'm thinking of my prediction for Raichu Y. So yeah, Electromorphosis is that ability that if something touches you, then your electrical output gets higher. Like you get like that charge effect in a way. I think. I don't think it's like an actual charge because charge itself increases its special defense. So it's like it's just a charge for like boosting electrical moves. So I think it could get that. Or it could get like a light ball esque ability because it is Raichu. If they want to make it like better than Pikachu, they have to make it faster than Pikachu. And being pure electric kind of sucks. Most pure electric types just don't have that sauce. So I don't predict this being good, but it is Raichu. It does have that coverage. If they make it physically stronger, Volt Tackle is gonna hit like a train. Nuzzle's decent on it. It gets extreme speed, fake out, Iron Tail, knockoff, play rough, Trailblaze. Special moves, it gets like that T-Bolt, Volt Switch, coverage, Alluring Voice, Focus Blast, Surf, Focus Blast. I just typed in Focus Blast twice. I don't know why I typed that in twice, and why I said it twice. Status moves, it gets Calm Mind, Encore, Alluring Voice, Nasty Plot, Screens, Thunderwave, Toxic, Yawn, and Wish. So yeah, that's my predictions for Raichu X. Predictions for Raichu Y. Let me fix this double Focus Blast thing. So again, I think this kind of goes like that Mega Mewtwo route. However, with this one, I think they're gonna increase its offenses like kind of equally, and instead of decreasing stats, they're just gonna like generally increase everything like a little bit. On the website, it was kind of described as definitely being the more offensively focused Raichu and having strong electric moves. So I actually thought Transistor could be an ability it has. Now, if you compare it to Regieleki, it's not going to be as fast unless they dump 90 points into speed and 5 points in special attack. Like, specifically. That would be, like, the only way they make it literally Mega, or, like, Regieleki. But it would be worse. Because Regieleki can hold an item, but... again, I'm not going to go over the moves again, but... Yeah, but they said overall it's more offensively focused, so I think it's not going to be, like, super defensive. But I think plus 10 in both its defenses are, like, fair enough to make it, like, that 65 defense, 95, or sorry, like, 90 special defense. They could make it, like, 100 special defense, and I'd probably take, like, 10 from attack, but I think 120 attack would be decent, and I think they would want to increase its special attack more because the Raichu X would probably be more, like, physically based. So, like, 135 special attack would be good, and I think 130 speed. So yes, this is faster. Like, I am predicting this to be faster than this guy. Although this guy does, like, I think this looks faster, but if this is more offensively focused, then they would have to make it faster, I would think. So I think this would be the better of the Raichus. And this is, like, the cooler of the ones. Kind of like how, like, Zard X is, like, probably worse than Zard Y. Like, Mewtwo Y is better than X by a long shot. So yeah, that's my predictions. I guess with the rest of the time I have for this video, I'll go through what I think on these designs. I think Mega Dragonite is sick. Um, I like the wings, although the wings, like, in the art style, like, the wings are very, like, symmetrical on this side, whereas Dragonite is facing a different direction, so it looks weird. But I like it. Victory Bell, I like it. I already talked about this design. Hawlucha doesn't really change too much, but I like how it has, like, the belt. It has more, like, that gold pattern and, like, the mask-ish thing. Um, and it has, like, that I think I already said it has like that belt and its muscles look a little bit more defined. But I'd say Mega Hawlucha actually looks weirdly different than the rest of the Megas. Like they all have like a bit more of a design change. This guy is just kind of wearing a mask. Um, and the rest of the Megas I think have more of like a design change. Like Malamar, like it's a lot skinnier. The tentacles on its head wrap around to make a brain-looking thing. I think this thing looks awesome. And it's very mesmerizing the way it moves in battle. And the colors are awesome. I love it. Chestnut is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So like this is gonna be probably my favorite Mega Evolution of all time. I'm not super impressed by it at the moment. Like I like it, but I already like Chestnut. Um, I kind of wish they used like red to make the shields instead of white. But I think this thing looks awesome. I can't wait to see what its shiny looks like. It has like that cape looking thing too, with like the red leaves, the red leaf cape, or I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks awesome. Mega Delphox looks awesome. I love the purple. I didn't expect them to actually like incorporate parts of like the shiny. They actually did that with all three of the starters. Like this green is like this is like the green the shiny uses. This purple is like more resemblant of like the purple the shiny uses, and like on Greninja the black is definitely what the shiny uses. So they're like incorporating shiny like into design. That's very cool. Delphox, like I like Delphox a lot. The beard is a little bit weird, but it's definitely grown on me. I like the white strip going down. Oh, that looks awesome. Greninja, Greninja doesn't really look like different on its own. Like it has like the black legs, or like the thighs are like black, and it has like the white head. Not the white head. It's like light blue, but it's the same color as like the Shuriken, so it's like the bubbly head. I guess I kind of like that aspect. Like they kind of brought that design aspect into it because like Frogadier had like the bubbles. So if like you're gonna strengthen the bubble, like you get like that mucusy star thing. I guess it kind of incorporates Froakie or like Frogadier a little bit more back into the design. I think that's cool. Like it doesn't change too much, I don't think. The Raichu X I think is my favorite of the Raichus. The two tails is like really cool. I like the black. Um, I kind of like the nubby arms, not gonna lie. The ears are always like very cool. I like the little twirl in the ears. Um, and it's actually like it's more like Pikachu colored, which is interesting. Because this one, I think, yeah, it's more orange. Like it resembles Raichu a little bit more, but I think body-like they made it more like Pikachu. So like I don't know, like they're combining like the Pikachu aspects into Raichu, but also it seems like they're taking a note out of like Gorachu, like that leaked Pokemon. Like they both kind of have like that Gorochu look, and also this one looks a lot more like calm. This one looks a lot more offensive, but they describe this one as being the more defensive one, which I think is weird. The ears are kind of stupid, I think. Um, but I guess the website kind of describes it more as like horns, so I guess that's like cool-ish. I love the fur. I can't tell if it's the fur, if it's like my computer, but that looks cool. And yeah, those are all my thoughts so far on all the Mega Evolutions. And if you guys have any thoughts, please feel free to leave a comment. If you have any like theories on like abilities, because some of these guys are like, I don't know like what abilities they could have. But I also feel like I cooked a little bit, but maybe a little bit too under or overcooked, or like I'm not thinking too far outside the box. Um, and I try to be like realistic with the stats too. So, yeah, I will see you guys later. I'll probably end up actually recording my CLDL video later because I am playing that game in about 4 hours. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. Thank you for watching.